Activity Project 1. The personal is political. My colleagues and I, we really enjoyed this site-specific event staged in a disused house that explores domestic abuse called Our Glass House by Commonwealth. Domestic violence is something that is not talked about and understood as much, and some people who suffer from it may feel misunderstood and scared and secluded. As Commonwealth supported people and confronted the issue of domestic violence, my colleagues and I wanted to recreate something similar to that, but instead filming something in different rooms at the holiday resort. These collected videos give voice to hidden oppression. Maybe people don't realise that they are not alone in these differences and problems. So through our collective video, we wanted to provide a safe space in which people can relate to issues regarding themselves and their vulnerability, and see how they are not alone, and lots of people, for example in a house, there can be so many problems people are facing. Domestic abuse is a big problem, but we wanted to widen the issue and made our theme Vulnerable Bodies. We then filmed ourselves in different ways, showing off how different people may experience the theme Vulnerable Bodies. Of course, we had to research into that definition first, and while researching the theme Vulnerable Bodies, to be able to understand more about what the theme actually means, a few definitions were found, such as depart from the norm, especially the norm of ability and youth that we today associate with a success in life. This brought about more understanding in the way that vulnerable bodies are those that aren't believed to bring about success in life. Another definition was there are societal structures that bind these bodies together and how exclusionary practices are based on oppressions of bodily differences. This talks about how there are structures that society deems as appropriate and normal, and we wanted to give voice to those that may feel shunned and cast out by society, but problems that aren't often understood. These definitions brought about multiple different ideas in the group of people's situations or problems that are considered different from the norm, and how these bodily differences can mean people are oppressed. Here is a picture of Commonwealth, the Our Glass House thing. For me, at first, after understanding the definition of vulnerable bodies, some ideas started arising of problems in a home that could happen to someone, such as struggling to eat and having an eating disorder. I thought about doing that in the kitchen, but then I picked something that people may not understand as a problem and can really affect people in a negative way, and they can't stop it and are in a downward spiral. Of course, we all chose to do it in a house because that is where the most private issues lie. My issue I wanted to convey in video form is someone being unhealthily addicted to social media. Being addicted to social media and losing hours and years of your life does stop you from achieving success in your life. And also, it's a large amount of people who every day go on their phones and don't do anything with their lives. But it isn't the majority of people, and those who are addicted but don't feel happiness from it can make them feel stupid and ridiculous, but still can't help themselves and feel lost with and without social media. When people think about those addicted to their phones and social media, they don't realise that it's actually a mental health problem. Social media is so toxic to the brain that it can make people obsessed with it but not even realise. Studies have shown that the constant stream of retweets, likes and shares from these sites cause the brain's reward area to trigger the same kind of chemical reaction seen with drugs like cocaine. Therefore, they get addicted to the happiness they feel when scrolling on social media, and even prefer it to real life and socialising with real people. They may not even feel happy as well. There was a quote that really interested me and made me want to do my 2-minute film about the negative impact social media has on people, as it's not recognised as a mental health problem. But it is sad that all it takes is a few likes and online interaction to make people happy. When an individual gets a notification, such as a like or mention, the brain receives a rush of dopamine and sends it along reward pathways, causing the individual to feel pleasure. Social media provides an endless amount of immediate rewards in the form of attention from others for relatively minimal effort. The brain rewires itself through this positive reinforcement, making people desire likes, retweets, and emoticon reactions. And if that's all people want in life and aren't willing to experience the real world, that is dangerous and unhealthy. Look at them, not enjoying the real world, just on their phones, even though they're around each other. They're probably even texting each other, even though they're there. Social media use becomes problematic when someone views social networking sites as an important coping mechanism to relieve stress, loneliness, or depression. It turns into a loop of helping relieve loneliness, depression and more, but then it also brings you those things at the same time. Because they aren't getting the in real life social interaction they need, this continuous use eventually leads to multiple interpersonal problems, such as ignoring real life relationships, work or school responsibilities, and physical health, which may then exacerbate an individual's undesirable moods. This then causes people to engage in the social networking behaviour even more as a way of relieving dysphoric mood states. When social network users repeat the cyclical pattern of relieving undesirable moods with social media use, the level of psychological dependency on social media increases, which then makes it harder for them to get off it or even think about leaving. My colleagues chose things such as coping in isolation with coronavirus, OCD, alcohol effects, substance abuse and more. There's also activities to do with these things, like I showed you an activity about social media, but I didn't show you those. I showed you my 4 favourite activities. Down below is the video my colleagues and I made, and you can watch it all, or just watch my one, which is at 11:24 in the video. We chose to make this video for you, the guests, so you can feel less alone too, perhaps when you are relaxing in the holiday resort. Also, feel free to leave now and watch the video, and then come back. I found it so important to be able to show the negative impact social media can have on people and being addicted to it and not being able to distance yourself from it, and if you are constantly on it, because it isn't normally recognised. However, spending too much time engaging with social media can actually make you feel more lonely and isolated and exacerbate mental health problems such as anxiety and depression. We've had that word twice now. So it actually makes you worse. Not only that, but multiple studies have found a strong link between heavy social media and an increased risk for depression, anxiety, loneliness, self-harm, and even suicidal thoughts. The sooner people realise they have a problem, the better, because it could make them happier and save their lives. Social media addiction is an issue that needs to be understood more, and people need to realise they're not alone. I want my video and my colleagues' video put together to help guests and bring awareness and attention to it. These videos are made through an understanding of how the domestic space is shaped and experienced through political discourses. So, in the video you may have just watched, I'm going to investigate in detail the things that were chosen to be in it to convey the harsh life the person is going through. The aim through my video is to show how addicted we are to our phones, and sometimes, like in the case of the person in the video, time can pass by so quickly and we sometimes cannot even notice it. Every single day doing the same thing, scrolling through the same apps, with eyes glued to the phone, head bent down, the loop of doing this every day leads on to us not taking care of our mental health and surroundings. In the video, it is shown that the person in the video does the same routine, but as it's a new day with new chores, more rubbish builds up around the person until they are living in poverty. Not only that, but being addicted to social media and seeing the different lives people live, people can see those online lives as real and start to compare their boring life to the person's life they see on their phone, like the person in the video. Social media personas, pictures and pages are so fake, and there is so much toxicity surrounding this, as a person comparing themselves to these fake realities start to feel sad that their life isn't the same, or that they don't have as many followers as other people. There was also a hidden quote posted by someone in the video that said, "Social media is training us to compare our lives instead of appreciating everything we are." This quote was written by Bill Murray on Twitter. This quote was put in as it's so effective and accurately describes 21st century life and how people don't see the good in their own lives because they are constantly looking at other people's. People don't know any different though, because people in this day and age are brought up like it. Life without phones and social media would be unheard of. The pictures down here is this one. Social media is training us to compare our lives instead of appreciating everything we are. Look at that, very inspirational. There's a time-lapse of the person scrolling, with the lighting getting darker in the time-lapse to convey how time is passing and it's going from daytime to nighttime, because that is all the person does with their life. And also, people can go on social media for practically the whole day and not even look up once. Or move, it's very unhealthy. There's a part where it's dinner time and their food arrives, but instead of eating it straight away, they continue scrolling, but then their mum calls, and because they don't want to communicate with the outside world and are happy with their boring social media life, they don't answer the phone, and that is when they eat the burger. However, then they stumble upon a picture of healthy food on their social media feed and feel insignificant and not as impressive because they aren't eating healthy food. Instead, a burger. That then causes them not to eat the burger any longer because they have compared themselves to a random post and don't want to be unhealthy. People constantly compare themselves and are prioritising social media interaction over real-world relationships, which isn't right, and people should be able to want to eat whatever they want without feeling guilty. Also, ignoring people outside of social media destroys relationships and loses people close to them. Prioritising social media over family and friends is sad and toxic. Their poor mum in the video. Throughout the scrolling on the video, the person sees people with their friends going out and feel left out, but still can't bring themselves to do anything about it. This can make them feel FOMO, fear of missing out. FOMO can take a toll on self-esteem and lead to compulsive checking of social media platforms to ensure that an individual isn't missing out on anything, which can cause problems. They feel left out and want to go but don't go. They see, in the comment section of a girl, it has lots of comments saying she's beautiful and things similar to that, and the person feels lonely. Comparing yourself unfavourably with others on social media is a big thing and can really destroy self-esteem. The person in the video then sees someone has hundreds of likes and they go onto their own post and sees they only have a few likes, and then they feel unimpressive. And they see a picture with lots of likes and then go to recreate it because they want to get the same amount of likes. Social media, likes, and notifications are two ways that engage your brain on social media platforms. Research has found that likes are social rewards, and providing likes to others activates regions of the brain. This positive feedback from others shares qualities with monetary and social rewards users may receive offline, such as the positive feeling a person has when they donate to charities. Okay, I'm back. It seems like I forgot to do the referencing, and now that's down in the bibliography as well. So, people getting likes on social media makes them feel complete. So the person on the video is hoping copying someone who got a lot of likes will allow them to achieve a lot of likes and therefore make them feel happy for once, which might, but for a very short amount of time. After taking a replica of the selfie of the person on their social media feed, they finally smile for the first time, other than when they actually took the picture, because they feel complete with the feeling that because they copied someone and wasn't authentic, then perhaps they will get a lot of likes instead of the usual few that they get. When posting the picture on Instagram, they post it with the caption, "Live life to the fullest," which is a contradiction and the opposite of what the person in the video is doing, because they are doing nothing in their lives, but just like everyone else, they are being fake in order to be liked and get likes. Nothing on social media is real. With Commonwealth's Our Glass House, the performance is a fragmented collection of monologues and choreographed movement sequences. We took inspiration from this, but decided to have different ways of telling the vulnerable bodies stories. Some people talked, some people had voiceovers, some people had no speaking and just music. There was no speaking in my social media video, only eerie music to convey how they only have their inner thoughts. They don't say anything because there was no one to talk to, because they are in their own heads. Within the vulnerable bodies video, in certain people's individual videos, there are hidden facts or quotes which relate to the subject. These were put in due to the inspiration of this picture, and how, if a fact can be conveyed to people, they can be more likely to understand the topic and understand more about it. 30% of domestic abuse starts with pregnancy. So here is one of my colleagues, 100 adults suffer from OCD, on a little desk thing in the bathroom. Don't know what it's called, cabinet, that's it. And you've seen this before, but this is from my video. Choosing a location in the house. A living room sofa was chosen as it is a comfy place that people can go to often. A lot of in-the-house pictures were looked at as inspiration for ideas of ways we could portray issues that could happen in the house. This picture gave me inspiration and ideas as there are images of women that the person in the picture is comparing herself to because she looks sad. And it gave me ideas of the mental health issues that can arise when people are constantly comparing themselves to other people. Here she is. Social media's negative effect it has on people due to comparison was chosen as everyone has social media and people are deemed weird if they don't. Therefore, everyone's going to feel not as impressive in comparison to other people. And so it is a topic many people can relate to but find it hard to admit. It is especially sad that so many people can want to change themselves due to social media. This isn't healthy, so the video wanted to convey the problems. Theatre has a big impact on people and can change people's opinions. So if people were to see the social media video, perhaps it can give people the ideas to make change feel possible. Also, within the whole Vulnerable Bodies video, all of these problems shown through the individual people in the videos are big issues faced, and we are showing how it could affect people's daily lives and ruin their mental health and moods. These are issues that may not be often talked about. Also, the way these issues are recorded in different parts of the house, it shows that in just one household, so many problems can be there. That's why, in the activity, myself, Amy, the tour guide, was pressuring you, the guest, to take pictures and only partake in fun activities for the sake of your Instagram followers. After taking a picture and posting it, there's no need to carry on having fun, because people already know what you're up to. I wanted you to feel and experience how some people actually feel. If people aren't always on their sofa or beds, when they're actually doing something, they feel the need to post it. This is the sad reality of life in the 21st century. Everyone feels a need to stop the fun and action, to take a picture of what they're doing, and then they are distant from the fun as they are glued to their phone. Even if people are out with their friends, they still feel the need to constantly check social media. Also, there are so many videos online or pictures of going out for a meal or eating, and it stops whoever you're with from eating because the person who wants the picture wants the best angle, lighting, and more. Being obsessed with social media and posting for followers is stopping us from living our lives to the fullest. Which is also a quote that was, not a quote, but it said at the end of mine, live life to the fullest. To make sure my video had enough of a story and things happening to convey this experience of this person, I researched lots into social media and addiction and what people do when they are addicted, and so therefore got lots of information and things to include in the video to show these things. Checking social media first in the morning and last at night, feeling bad when not getting likes, retweets or views, thinking that everyone else's life is better. Incorporating these things and some other things allowed me to be able to portray the life and feelings of someone addicted to social media in the video. And here is the bibliography. So yeah, that was the social media activity. Would you like to change activity, watch another summary, or are you done for today?